Hello and welcome back to the channel. Right now I'm going to be looking at Dimash Kudaibergen's Ikanaide from the Tokyo Jazz Festival that is taking place actually today. So I'm excited to see this. This is like the one that happened last year where he debuted, well, not debuted, well, where he performed Samotao. And so I'm excited to see what he has to bring in this performance. And it's hot off the presses, and let's get started. I'm going to stop it right here. I don't know how the blocking is going to work on this, so I'm going to stop it every once in a while. But this is, as we've heard before, this is the Autumn Strong song that he performed over his career, and this is, again, this is one of the great things that he has in his repertoire. Is he's classically trained, so that means he can work without a mic, but he's also very well trained in mic controls. So what that allows him to do is it allows him to bring all of that stuff, all of his technique that he has in his lower register out. And so in this opening section here, you have this very light, very breathy, very beautiful tone. And it's not easy to sing at this particular level of volume and get it to sound good. And he has such control over his breathing. And I know over the course of the year and a half that I have been responding and reacting to him, I know that he works out a lot on how to control his lung capacity and how to control the air. Some comments have actually said that he will dive into a pool and he loves to swim, and he'll dive into a pool and he'll hold his breath from one end of the pool to the other. And in my mind, I can see what that does to help control the muscles from moving in and out, and helps him to maintain this type of control, because you need that type of control on your breath in order to get this type of tone. It's one of his signature sounds, and I thank you for your indulgence on this pause, but he really does know how to also set the scene, because again, when the introduction happened, he also set the scene through his eyes, through his body posture, through his eyes. And it's not easy when you're standing in front of a microphone to do that. So let's go back a couple of seconds and then we'll continue on forward. So I'll go back 10 seconds because I believe I hit it right as a new part of the song began.
いつまでもずっと離さないで
I'm gonna go back. I know I stopped it before the note ended. Um, a couple of things that I want to point out is my first introduction to this was his singer performance, and that's actually on my channel way back. And a lot of things have happened since that production. Like about 5 years has passed, 4 or 5 years have passed. And one, you can actually tell in his physicality how much he's actually grown into his adulthood. His presence is much more of he looked much younger in that, and he looks like a person who's in his middle 20s now. So you have that part, but also his ability to feel comfortable in the moment. So his ability to change the melodic lines and to change the phrasing. So where he says certain words, he's learned to sort of feel that a little bit more. And I understand in the original performance, he's done I mean, he had to learn the entire song, the entire language, and he had to sort of put it all together in 7 days. So he did a really great job in that particular performance in The Singer. And as time has gone on, though, he's incorporated that song into his singing persona. It's actually part of who he is as a singer now. And so you see a very comfortable, very mature Dimash. And that's sort of what I was getting at in the previous um, in my previous comments when I first stopped, is that there's a certain maturity that in my mind, and you can argue this in the comments, that needs to happen in order to sort of understand the full depth of the lyrics that go on here. And that you can perform it, but a certain amount of life has to go by in order for you to really sort of understand that connection. And again, he's always had to leave his home in Kazakhstan to go other places, and he's always been on the move. So it's not like he's experienced the story of this song in the same way. But and again, I don't have the lyrics and they're not available. So if I'm talking about a totally different song, then please let me know, and I apologize for that. But I'm going off of what I know. But in his lifetime, over his lifetime, he has more collective memories to draw upon to bring out the energy of the song, and to use his craft, his technique, to bring out the message and the themes of the song. So I'm going to go back, and once again I apologize if this song has a totally different meaning because I don't have the subtitles to help me out. So I'm going to go back, but again, he's his maturity level as an artist and as a human is showing really nicely here. And so I'm going to go back and we're going to continue on. So again, even right there, he's always been known to know his body. Like he's never been afraid to use his body to make a point in a song. And what I'm noticing, and this is why I keep mentioning that he is maturing into his persona as a singer, is that he is really becoming really free no matter what in his body language and in his ability to own his physicality in any given song. He's always been talented, he always will be talented, and he always will be one of the best singers, if not the best singer in the universe. But one of the things that I'm seeing as I watch this performance and all of his other performances put together, there is a calmness, a different sense of calm in in his persona when he is singing. His body language is much more relaxed in terms of his ability to own his physicality as Dimash, irrespective of what's going on in the song. He's his body language is very authentic to him as well as to the song. And it isn't that it was bad before, it's just that it seems freer and much more natural now than it did before. And that's just growth and maturity as an artist. And this is something I see. My opinion, if you don't agree with it, you can talk about it in the comments, but this is a reaction, so I don't know. I'm going sort of blindly into this. And so you can correct me in the comments, and I look forward to hearing from those. But this is something that I noticed in his performance here. So I'll go back a couple of 10 seconds, and you can sort of see how he moves his body and how relaxed he is in this environment. That was nice. So I want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below. Start a conversation. I know that this is always fun to watch him, and one of the things that I do as for a living, and I've always done for a living, and I just built a company around it, a small business around this, is watching people grow from one moment to the next and watching those incremental steps here and there grow into something bigger later. And so when I'm talking about Dimash seemingly growing into himself, this is what I'm seeing in this performance here, and that's what I really want you to take away from this performance. And I may have said it horribly earlier or didn't say it the way that I really wanted to say it, but all these little incremental things that I've seen over time have sort of snowballed into this into the Dimash that I see in front of me in this particular performance, one who's very at ease with himself as a performer. And that's always great to see because again, we know that his technique is great. and we know that there's other stuff, but for some reason this one struck me as a performance where for some reason everything just sort of came into to alignment with everything. I'm just going to say that he has matured a lot as um, an artist, not technically, but just in terms of his ability to own a performance across the board. And so I still have a whole bunch of stuff to look at from Dimash. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. This is my opinion. I don't know all the things that have gone on in Dimash's life. So please feel free to use the comments to discuss that further below. And I really loved this. This was a really great interpretation of the song. This was really awesome to watch how since the time that he's done this song, he has incorporated it into his psyche, and that it becomes just natural for him to perform it. Even though this I don't believe it isn't Autumn Strong. It's actually I believe in another language. So if you can help me out with that one, I'm sure it's in the comments somewhere. But let me know how you think about this particular performance. I really enjoyed it. And I'm going to leave it go at that. And I hope you guys enjoy your day. And I hope that everything is going well for you. And as always, be safe.